Hello guys, welcome back to our anime explainer. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of Swallowed Star 2 Origin Continent based on novel. So let's start. This is serious trouble. At the Flame Wind Pavilion, both Emperor Chu Yu and the Deputy Pavilion Master were trembling in their hearts. In the entire world, only the godly kings and those in the primal chaos realm were considered high-level beings, and every existence at the pinnacle of primal chaos was not to be trifled with. Even the imperial clansmen of the Flame Wind ancient country wouldn't provoke them without good cause. Because the existence at the pinnacle of primal chaos, their spiritual will was at least at the pinnacle of primal chaos realm, and might even be at the godly king's will. Once they used the reincarnation secret art, they could be reborn with their complete memories intact. Who would dare to cause trouble relying on their background against such beings? If pushed too far, they would simply kill you. After killing, they could just reincarnate. No matter how big your background, you can't find the reincarnated identity of the other party. Moreover, there was an unspoken agreement in the land of origin. When those in the primal chaos realm clash, the god kings wouldn't intervene easily without sufficient reason. Therefore, outside of the two ancient countries, the pinnacle of primal chaos was already the most powerful deterrent under normal circumstances. We can't help him, the Deputy Pavilion Master shook his head. This Luo, he is too reckless. When his strength was weak, why did he insist on acting on impulse? Perhaps he thought he could protect himself, Emperor Chu Yu frowned. But the power of an existence at the pinnacle of primal chaos is terrifying indeed, far stronger than those newly advanced to the primal chaos realm. This is bad. At the city owner's mansion, General Yue Wu's facial expression slightly changed. Even for just a little face, Marquis Liu Yin will have to take action, said General Yong Hu at his side. I'm worried that Marquis Liu Yin will take out his wrath on the entire Huyang city, General Yue Wu said. Yong Hu looked at Yue Wu in surprise. General Yue Wu continued, Marquis Liu Yin is called the catastrophe of the world. Normally, when he takes action, it represents the coming of a catastrophe. And given the great humiliation this time, his actions will only be more ruthless. Don't worry. My master has bestowed upon me a life-saving treasure, and I will take you away when the time comes, General Yue Wu sighed. But I cannot protect the whole Huyang city. Upon hearing this, Yong Hu immediately nodded. He was also touched. They were all disciples of the monarch of Yu country. But among the disciples of the monarch of Yu country, Yue Wu was treated 10 times better than them, even having a life-saving treasure. Did Master kill Liu Yinyang? So Marquis Liu Yin is going to make a move. Moyu Qingyang was very worried about her master, and couldn't help but look towards Morosa. Don't panic, Morosa comforted, looking up. Over this period, Luo Feng had sparred with him many times. He was the one who knew his master's strength best. The dark red armored figure in the sky looked at Luo Feng with a cold gaze. Good. I hope when the time comes for you to die, you're still as confident. Having said that, this incarnation dissipated into the air, vanishing between heaven and earth. Luo Feng turned his head to look towards the distant Heart Shadow sect base. Boom! A terrifying and oppressive aura had exploded from the Heart Shadow sect base. See a thnovlia.net website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. The true body of Marquis Liu Yin had already arrived here with the help of the space-time treasure bestowed upon the Heart Shadow sect. His here, Luo Feng muttered as he watched. His here, Emperor Chu Yu, the Deputy Pavilion Master, Marquis of Jujiang, and the others all took notice of the terrifying aura erupting from the Heart Shadow sect base. An aura that made their hearts tremble. Marquis Liu Yin stood at the Heart Shadow sect base, looking up at Luo Feng from a distance. Luo Feng also looked at him. Courageous, Marquis Liu Yin said softly. Suddenly he vanished into thin air. And in an instant, the entire sky darkened, followed by the spread of endless blood fire that seemed like blood vessels extending across the sky. What's this? What's happening to the sky? Countless cultivators in Huyang City were looking at the sky in horror, as the blood fire spread like veins across the entire sky, turning it completely dark red. Under the shadow of the dark red sky, a sense of calamity spread, even making the cultivators feel as if death was approaching. At the Heart Shadow Sect, Master of the Heart Shadow Sect and the 18 elders looked up at this sight. When the Marquis bestowed the space-time treasure to me, it was for me to arrive instantly, to deal with Marquis of Jujiang, the Master of the Heart Shadow Sect said as he watched. Who would have thought that this Luo he would seek death by offending the Marquis? Could this Luo he be relying on something, that he dares to be so arrogant? An elder spoke up. Among the primal chaos overlords, those who can be called pinnacle of primal chaos are few and far between. This Marquis Liu Yin is in existence on par with great Saint Zhu Yuan. How could there possibly be a newly advanced primal chaos realm being capable of withstanding him? Elder Heart Eye shook his head. The Heart Shadow Sect had fallen due to great Saint Zhu Yuan. Elder Heart Eye and the others had also carefully understood the differences between those in the primal chaos realm, and knew the terror of ones like great Saint Zhu Yuan and Marquis Liu Yin. Marquis Liu Yin only asked him to hand over the envoy of the Snow Realm and to compensate 10 billion cosmic sand, he said. Those in the primal chaos realm have strong life-saving capabilities. Now let's see how good Luo his life-saving secret technique is, they said. The Heart Shadow Sect watched on. They could only hide far away from such a high-level confrontation. Previously, too, they had watched from a distance as great Saint Zhu Yuan fought against the Heart Shadow Sect's 3 primal chaos realm beings. Using the sect's formation, in the end, the formation was broken, 1 died and 2 fled. Luo Feng looked at the dark red sky, which extended for billions of miles, with the aura of calamity spreading far and wide. Suddenly, a giant face appeared in the dark red sky. That was the face of Marquis Liu Yin. This is my world. Can your life-saving secret technique escape from my world? The giant face looked at Luo Feng. As for reincarnation, you, a newly advanced primal chaos being, can you awaken your memories after reincarnation? Only those with godly kings can remain fully aware, clear-headed even as a fetus. The primal chaos pinnacle will beings, once reincarnated, have an uncertain time for awakening memories. It could happen in youth, or even when one is a true god of void space, or an eternal true god. If one dies again without awakening memories, then that death is truly final. Marquis Liu Yin, did you ask my permission before you made your move? A voice rang out. Marquis of Jujiang appeared out of nowhere above Huyang City, standing beside Luo Feng. He looked up at the dark red sky. Vaz tilde tilde tilde. The void vibrated suddenly, its ripples covering the dark red sky, making the entire sky blurry. Luo he, take the chance to get away, while I hold off Marquis Liu Yin. Marquis of Jujiang glanced at Luo Feng and immediately sent a telepathic message. Take your friend and leave quickly. I won't be able to hold off Marquis Liu Yin for long. With Marquis Liu Yin in a rage, I fear he might take it out on the entire Huyang City. Of course, if I end up winning, that would be the best, the Marquis of Jujiang chuckled, then completely vanished as he merged into the void. Knowing full well that his chances of victory were slim, the Marquis of Jujiang still wanted to fight, and settle the battle once and for all. Who's stronger? Who's weaker? Only a fight would tell. Boom tilde tilde tilde. In the vast and mighty Bloodfire world, its power was terrifying, but there was also an invisible layer of void ripples covering the Bloodfire world, suppressing it. Marquis of Jujiang, you think you can stop me? Suddenly, millions of Marquis Liu Yin's Bloodfire figures appeared, each one swinging out a blade of Bloodfire light, which instantly tore through the void ripples. Extinguish! With a cold shout, suddenly a net of void appeared in the world, its dense web of void instantly slicing through the millions of Marquis Liu Yin figures, shredding them all into pieces. Luo Feng watched all this unfold. In terms of realm, they are both above me. Luo Feng realized the gap between them as he observed their fight. In terms of realm, the moves of both Marquis Liu Yin and Marquis of Jujiang were incredibly mysterious, far more powerful than his own straightforward techniques, to the point where he couldn't even pinpoint their true bodies. As strength increases, it's not just the power that grows immensely, but the techniques also become more inconceivable, Luo Feng observed carefully. Although he had gathered a lot of information about the primal chaos realm, it was still not as good as witnessing it with his own eyes. Since he became a creature of the primal chaos realm, the only one he had fought with was Morosa. Luo He, why aren't you leaving? Emperor Chu Yu, the master of the Flame Wind Pavilion, urgently sent a telepathic message. Now that the Marquis of Jujiang is holding the other off, you must leave immediately. Let me gauge the situation first, Luo Feng responded, watching intently. You? I really don't understand why you're so confident. Here is the most detailed information on Marquis Liu Yin. Emperor Chu Yu, unable to persuade him, immediately sent a detailed dossier. Marquis Liu Yin is known as the disaster of the world. At this moment, his true body is not any physical form, but that bloodfire world itself. The world is him, and he is the world. Luo Feng reviewed the information on Marquis Liu Yin. The information provided by Emperor Chu Yu was extremely detailed, even including many recorded battle scenes. Luo Feng was too poor to afford detailed information on such top-tier beings of the primal chaos. Thank you, Pavilion Master, Luo Feng sent his thanks through telepathy. Luo He, are you not leaving? I can't hold him off any longer. The Marquis of Jujiang sent an urgent telepathic message. Thud 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 tilde tilde tilde. The whole bloodfire world seemed to boil, with annihilation everywhere, and the Marquis of Jujiang, hidden within the void, found it increasingly difficult to withstand as he burned his divine power. Marquis of Jujiang, if you can't hold out, then let me take over, Luo Feng said with a slight smile. Take over? The concealed Marquis of Jujiang was shocked. All eyes were on Luo Feng as he looked up at the endless bloodfire world. Boom rumble tilde tilde tilde. A rolling torrent of silver river suddenly swept across a vast expanse. Its extent was so grand that it was in no way inferior to the bloodfire world itself. All cultivators in Huyang City had noticed that a silver river flowed over every road and every residential area, providing perfect protection for Huyang City, preventing any cultivator from being harmed by the bloodfire world. I have cultivated 15 kinds of transformation methods, but when it comes to large-scale maneuvers, the galaxy transformation method is still what I'm best at, thought Luo Feng. During this era, he had also visited the Primal Chaos Layer and captured some Primal Chaos Layer creatures. Thus he upgraded his transformation methods to 15 kinds. However, Luo Feng only used 5 kinds of transformation methods on himself. Rise! At the thought of Luo Feng, myriad vast silver blade lights began to levitate, a total of 8,000 blade lights suspended at the same time. The Marquis Liu Yin, transformed into the endless bloodfire world, watched this scene with confusion, because these 8,000 blade lights looked mighty, but there was no burning of divine power. Slash! Luo Feng looked up at the sky. The 8,000 galaxy blade lights were simultaneously executing the blade technique, Blade River Slash. It was a move that Luo Feng had created as his realm gradually improved. The Blade River Slash pursued simplicity and purity, with Luo Feng removing some intricate variations, even eliminating the targeting of space itself, to seek only the most fundamental power. As a result, Blade River Slash was much less taxing on the heart force. Moreover, after the perfect divine body reached its limits of growth, nurtured by the physical body, his soul grew larger, enabling him to divide his attention among even more blade lights. With these improvements, Luo Feng was able to cast 8,000 blade lights with but a single thought. Rumble rumble tilde 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 tilde. Even without targeting space, maintaining only the purest power. As the 8,000 blade lights erupted at once, layer after layer of space instantly shattered into pieces, utterly defenseless. Wherever the blade lights enveloped, everything was annihilated, everything returned to primal chaos. With the blade lights rampaging, all the layers of space were crushed, even touching the outermost membrane of the entire world. This layer of membrane was the braided cage membrane. Under the rampaging of the 8,000 blade lights, this braided cage membrane remained incredibly tenacious and unshakable, purely relying on power to break through the braided cage. Such force was still far from sufficient. Whether it was Marquis of Jujiang, Emperor Chu Yu, or Marquis Liu Yin who faced the devastating 8,000 blade lights, they were all astonished. The 8,000 blade lights ravaged an area of hundreds of billions of kilometers, shattering all layers of space down to the final braided cage membrane. Even the bloodfire world was partly destroyed in an instant. Within this area, unless one could merge with the braided cage membrane, there was no escape. One could only withstand this strike head-on. I'm actually injured. Since Marquis Liu Yin had been able to turn into the bloodfire world, it had been a long time since he was injured. You are not a newly advanced primal chaos cultivator. As the 8,000 blade lights converged and the bloodfire world spread again, a giant face looked at Luo Feng. You possess the strength of the pinnacle of primal chaos realm. Dressed in a black robe, stepping on the endless silver river, Luo Feng looked up at the bloodfire world. Who told you that I am a newly advanced primal chaos cultivator? Marquis Liu Yin, I secluded myself in Huyang City, and you were the one who provoked me. Living in seclusion in Huyang City. The enormous face in the sky seemed somewhat incredulous. In the land of origin, not every cultivator from the primal chaos realm was willing to join a nation and be granted a title because, although owning a fief brought a continuous output of resources, it also tied them to too many obligations. The more one possessed, the more entwining the consequences became. Many from the primal chaos realm preferred to occupy a remote area and cultivate in peace. Great ones like Great Saint Ju Yuan, Great Saint Luo Feng, and others did the same. They gave up many resources, but also avoided many troubles. Some of them went into complete hiding, disguised as ordinary cultivators, quietly cultivating and hoping that one day they would fully comprehend the Tao and step into the godly king tier. I attacked the Jujiang Primal Chaos Prefecture, and I actually encountered a hidden cultivator at the pinnacle of primal chaos. Marquis Liu Yin felt that his luck was particularly bad, and he even once proposed a hiring price of 2 billion cosmic sand. If he had known he was a hidden cultivator at the pinnacle of primal chaos, let alone 2 billion cosmic sand, even 20 billion cosmic sand, Marquis Liu Yin would gladly have paid to hire him. But now, everything was too late. The situation had developed to this point. This hidden cultivator Luo He had completely moved to the opposition. This brother Luo He is actually at the pinnacle of primal chaos. Marquis of Jujiang, who had escaped and appeared inside the city owner's mansion, was utterly delighted. 1 billion cosmic sand could hire someone from the pinnacle of primal chaos. What kind of luck is this? Luo He. In the dark crimson sky, that enormous face stared at Luo Feng. As a hidden cultivator of the primal chaos realm, must you interfere in the conflict between Marquis of Jujiang and me? I originally had no intention of intervening. What does your feud over fiefs have to do with me? Luo Feng shook his head lightly, but your subordinates have repeatedly killed the innocent, and it happened within the city where I reside in seclusion. How could I tolerate this? Marquis Liu Yin's thoughts shifted. Indeed. Shui Yun committed a massacre originally, and in the end, Luo He chased him out of the city and still killed Shui Yun. The Heart Shadow sect entered the city, and initially, Luo He was tolerant. But when the Heart Shadow sect began to loot the entire city and slaughter on a large scale, Luo He took action. The two armies clashed. From start to finish, Luo He demonstrated the overwhelming strength of an eternal true god, taking 1 billion cosmic sand, and indeed played the role worthy of 1 billion cosmic sand. However, when Liu Yinyang captured 10 billion blood food, Luo He made his move. A bunch of idiots, bringing me great trouble. Marquis Liu Yin looked down upon Luo Feng, and although he understood that the situation had turned sour, he was still full of confidence in himself. Luo He, no matter the reason, since you have intervened, I want to see whether you really have the power to interfere. Marquis Liu Yin's voice resonated powerfully. The sound, carrying a sinister attack of will, arrived in an instant. Marquis Liu Yin, as a cultivator at the pinnacle of primal chaos, had his spiritual will honed over the long years to barely enter the godly king tier. Knowing Luo his fearsome strength, he began to give his all. Your secret technique of willpower, buzzing like an insect. Luo Feng frowned slightly, it's truly annoying. His will is not at all inferior to mine, completely unshakable. Marquis Liu Yin became even more certain, this was an old fellow who had cultivated for who knows how long, his spiritual will honed to an extremely terrifying degree. If you have no tricks left, just scram. Luo Feng flicked his sleeve. 8,000 galaxy-like blade lights swept across, instantly sweeping the heavens and earth, cleansing all. The blood fire was all extinguished, leaving only a primal chaos current. While Marquis Liu Yin's incarnation of the blood fire world covered a vast area. Luo Feng's 8,000 galaxy only impacted less than 1/10 of it, and even knowing Luo Feng's technique afterward, Marquis Liu Yin's divine power retreated to a far distance. The damage this time was much smaller than the first. Accompanied by many spatial layers naturally healing, the world returned to calm, the bloodfire world spread over once again. HMPH, along with a cold snort in the world. Then, bloodfire ignited on Luo Feng's body surface as he carefully felt it. To himself, he seemed to have become the enemy of a vast world, endless malice converging upon him, with bloodfire burning and corroding. No trace, eroding my body out of thin air. Luo Feng looked in surprise. Compared to my foolish 8,000 blade light, Marquis Liu Yin's technique is indeed much more bizarre. Useless. The incarnation of the bloodfire world, Marquis Liu Yin, indeed sensed that the bloodfire could hardly damage Luo Feng's body. Booming ... Suddenly, the entire bloodfire world erupted with booming sounds. The world's power of this bloodfire world nearly converged at one point, and in front of Luo Feng out of nowhere, a figure clad in dark crimson armor appeared. The moment this dark crimson armored figure appeared, he had already chopped towards Luo Feng's shoulder. Luo Feng was quick to react, otherwise, the blow would have landed on his head. This is the world's body. Luo Feng had learned detailed information about Marquis Liu Yin from Emperor Chu Yu, knowing that this dark crimson armored figure was not Marquis Liu Yin's true body, but the world's body formed from the conjured power of the entire bloodfire world. The world's body, gathering the power of an entire world, held immense strength, making close combat naturally terrifying. And even if it was destroyed, it would only disperse into the world's force, not harming Marquis Liu Yin's true body. Such a strong blade, and it appeared suddenly before me, hardly giving me any chance to dodge. Luo Feng still stood in midair, looking at the blade edge on his shoulder. The dark crimson armored figure had struck Luo Feng's shoulder, and was also astonished. Because the blade had an even cut through Luo Feng's black robe on his shoulder. As for the skin, it was completely unscathed. Hiss, hiss, hiss tilde tilde tilde. Luo Feng's black robe on his body surface instantly had countless black liquids flowing, instantly enveloping the blade, and even enveloping the entire body of the dark crimson armored man. Engaging me in close combat. Luo Feng shook his head lightly. Of the 15 transformation methods he mastered, apart from the galaxy transformation method, that specialized in domain techniques, the other methods were oriented towards close combat. Luo Feng carefully selected 5 transformation methods to use regularly. Thus, in regular combat, the galaxy transformation method was used for long-range encounters, while the other 4 methods were for close combat. Luo Feng's close combat strength was far more terrifying than his long-range capabilities. His tilde 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 tilde. The man clad in dark red armor wrapped in black liquid, under the horrific constraints of immense force, disintegrated instantly, leaving only the long blade with blood-fire patterns behind. What a fine weapon, Luo Feng said, holding the blade. For the body of the world to have enough explosive close combat strength, Marquis Liu Yin naturally equipped it with the best weapon, which was a top-quality weapon among those in the primal chaos realm. This blade, suitable for a pinnacle of primal chaos cultivator, is worth at least 5 billion cosmic sand, Luo Feng commented approvingly, then quickly stowed it away in the star tower. Luo Feng looked up at the blood-fire world high in the sky. Marquis Liu Yin, do you have any other tricks up your sleeve? Luo Feng asked leisurely. How is that possible? At that moment, Marquis Liu Yin couldn't believe it. My world's body, empowered by the entire strength of the blood-fire world, immensely powerful, yet it was so easily overcome by that black liquid. The oppressive binding force crushed the world's body instantaneously. The gap in close combat was too vast. No wonder I thought his techniques were crude. It turns out he specializes in his physical body, which is far stronger than my world's body. Marquis Liu Yin instantly recognized their disparity. Every pinnacle of primal chaos realm cultivator has their own path they excel in. Marquis Liu Yin's forte was transforming into the blood-fire world, rendering his true body untouchable by enemies. S tilde the novelia.net website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. Yet, if one focused on physical prowess and cultivated to the pinnacle of primal chaos realm, their physical body would be tremendously terrifying. Even ancient beings, who had just entered the godly king tier, found it incredibly challenging to completely obliterate a physical body at the pinnacle of primal chaos realm. Such powerful beings were suited for confinement, sealing. Typically, they required a long period of attrition to gradually erase them. Your godly body is strong, but I want to see if it truly has no weaknesses. Marquis Liu Yin, unwilling to give up easily, let the blood-fire world surge vehemently, as formless forces constantly descended, attempting to penetrate Luo Feng's godly body. These formless forces included strange blood, burning flames, and the power of calamities. All sorts of bizarre forces kept infiltrating. Marquis Liu Yin knew well that while some powerful physical bodies appeared invincible, if infiltrated by some special forces, they might just succeed and completely erode them. You want to wear down my godly body? Ha ha ha, Luo Feng suddenly burst into laughter. Boom tilde tilde tilde. Luo Feng's stature suddenly surged to an unimaginably immense height. He had passed through countless cloud layers, and his head had reached the edge of the starry sky. Looking up, Luo Feng could see countless miniature galaxies. At this moment, one of his fingertips was much larger than Huyang City. The vastness of his size shocked even Marquis Liu Yin. What? He can maintain such a massive godly body? Marquis Liu Yin exclaimed, touching the edge of the starry space. Although an unlimited godly body can be large or small, the larger it is, the stronger the world's suppression it faces. Standing on the ground with his head touching the edge of the starry space. Moreover, higher realms, under supreme rules, forbid touching, preventing damage to those miniature galaxies. This height was now the maximum a cultivator could achieve in size. Only a venerable godly king can reach this height. Even focusing on the physical body at the pinnacle of primal chaos realm, such a size is somewhat inconceivable. Marquis Liu Yin was well aware that sometimes, size could indeed indicate strength. A godly body maintained at such a celestial height signifies endless might. Begone! Luo Feng bellowed, his palms covering the entire bloodfire world, and with a wave, he completely shattered it into primal chaos. Buzz! When the bloodfire world shattered, using the world's power, the formless force instantly escaped to a far distance. There it transformed into a bloodfire body, now the significantly more injured Marquis Liu Yin. Luo He, if you're willing to stay out of the conflict between me and Marquis of Jujiang, we can discuss terms. Marquis Liu Yin spoke from afar. I've got this place secured, the towering godly body as high as the heavens declared mightily, his voice booming. Marquis Liu Yin's expression turned grim. He knew well that he had territories, numerous subordinates, countless clan members, and much too much at stake. And Luo He, merely a recluse at the pinnacle of primal chaos. Those close to him amounted to an old servant and a disciple. Such an unburdened cultivator, at the pinnacle of primal chaos, would give even a godly king headaches. They would not be easily provoked. HMPH. Marquis Liu Yin merged with the world in an instant and disappeared from sight. All over Huyang City, countless cultivators looked up, but due to the thick clouds obscuring their view, they only saw the waste area of an endless, imposing godly body clad in a massive black robe, imposing a terrifying pressure on them. A godly body as tall as the heavens. Marquis of Jujiang looked upward, knowing that focusing on the physical body to reach the pinnacle of primal chaos realm was terrifying, but facing such an imposing godly body directly, the oppressive feeling was overwhelmingly intense. Moyu Qingyang looked up, her eyes somewhat glazed over. Is this my master? This video will end here.